Introduction. Today is Sunday's morning. Kamal is watching his mother carefully. His mother is putting some white-colored liquid in a bucket of water. He asked his mother about this.
Mother, what is that white-colored liquid?
Son, it is a disinfectant.
And why are you pouring it into a bucket of water?
Because disinfectant is a chemical substance which kills microorganisms and stops their growth. It is used to disinfect floors and toilets.
Mother, can we also use disinfectant directly on wounds?
No, son, we cannot apply disinfectant directly on the wounds. But if we use very low concentrated solution of disinfectant, then we can also use it as an antiseptic.
Mother, I want to know something more about this.
Yes, son. Today I will tell you more about this. Students, today we'll discuss more about this in our chapter Chemistry in Everyday Life. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define and classify drugs, know about drug designing, analyze therapeutic action of different classes of drugs, familiar about chemicals in food, understand artificial sweetening agents, describe food preservatives, define and classify soaps and detergents. Chemical compounds in everyday life. In everyday life, chemical compounds have been employed for a number of useful purposes. For example, sugar is used to sweeten tea, soaps are used for washing and bathing purposes, etc. It influences the existence of human beings and the habitat. Besides those, a number of compounds find application in agriculture, textiles, medicines, photography, etc. Thus, chemicals play a very important role in our daily life and in a number of biological processes. Drugs. Chemical substances used for treatment of diseases and for reducing suffering from pain are called medicines or drugs. Use of some chemical compounds as medicines has helped humanity in a number of ways. Medicines have been used to cure diseases, to reduce suffering from pain, and to check population explosion. They have increased the average lifespan of man and have helped him to lead a comfortable life. The treatment of diseases due to bacterial invasion by chemical compounds which destroy the microorganisms without affecting the tissues of the host is known as chemotherapy. The chemicals used for the cure are called chemotherapeutic agents. Classification of drugs. Drugs can be classified in several ways. Based on pharmacological effect. Drugs are classified on the basis of their physiological effect on our body. For example, antipyretic drugs reduce temperature of febrile body, whereas antiseptic drugs prevent the growth of microorganisms. Based on a particular biochemical process. Some drugs affect biochemical processes. For example, antihistamines drugs suppress the action of histamine, which causes inflammation in the body. Based on chemical nature. Some drugs have effect on the body based on their structural features. For example, sulfur drugs can suppress the multiplication of microorganisms like bacteria due to their structure. Therefore, they are used as antibacterial. Based on molecular targets. They are based on molecular targets like enzymes, receptors of cells, macromolecules like carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. Drug designing. There are two main considerations for designing a drug: drug target and drug metabolism. Drug target. Drugs usually interact with biological macromolecules such as proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. These biological macromolecules are called targets. The correct choice of drug target is important to obtain good therapeutic effects of a drug. Drug metabolism. When a drug is administered through the body, it travels through the body to reach its target. A drug should be designed that it reaches the target without being metabolized in between. Also, the drug should be designed that after its action, the drug and its water-soluble products, called metabolites, are excreted through urine, feces, exhaled air, saliva, and sweat without causing harm to the body. Drug-target interaction. A biological target is a bipolymer whose activity can be modified by an external stimulus. These macromolecules perform various functions in the body. Those proteins which perform the role of biological catalysts in the body are called enzymes. Those proteins which are crucial to communication system in the body are called receptors. Those proteins which carry polar molecules across the cell membrane are called carrier proteins. Nucleic acids have coded genetic information for the cell. Enzymes as drug targets. Biological targets are most commonly proteins such as enzymes because almost all biological reactions are carried out under the catalytic influence of enzymes. In their catalytic activity, enzymes perform two important functions. Enzymes hold the substrate in its active sites in such a position that it can be easily and effectively attacked by the reagent. Enzyme provides functional groups that will attack the substrate and carry out the biochemical reaction. Drugs can either increase or decrease the rate of enzymatically mediated reactions. Inhibition.